Rolling.
We rolling?
We be rolling.
Oh, geez.
We hating. Hey, what's up, everybody? Nick.
What's up?
Weekly dose of
It's our weekly dose.
4thGen.
Yeah.
Nick and Bryce. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
You know?
Yeah. Like we're saying. We're just saying.
Just everything's.
Everything's.
It's always pandemonium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pandemonium?
No, it's pandemonium.
Pandemonium,
Yeah.
right?
Should be about fandemonium.
yeah.
It's pandemonium.
We're not going to see any fandemonium, I don't think.
Yeah.
For still a little while.
Yeah. But the movie theaters are open. The movies are out.
That's true.
They're coming out.
Yep.
Making money.
Yep.
Not what they were making before, but they're making money. So yeah, I mean,
I think I've said this on a previous podcast. I really wish they would still release it digitally though, because I would have watched. They would have gotten two hits from.
Hang
me
on
by
now. Let's go back now. I was proven right because they do make more money just releasing in theaters than they do digitally.
Yeah,
because Venom.
But they would make more money if they did both.
No. Venom. So Venom smoked Black Widow.
Yeah.
And that was released together.
Okay, but we got to look at the movie too.
Yeah, but Marvel's Marvel, man.
But okay, Venom, Blood, Death, anti-hero to Black Widow. No offense to Black Widow or anything, you know. But I mean, Venom 1 was epic. Like, I mean, it was a good movie. I mean, when you pull Carnage into it, like, even if you're not a Spider-Man fan, you're gonna go see that. Like, it's like just I think, but
there was a funny little skit on YouTube about Venom, about Carnage.
Okay,
and it's like you must have seen the pitch meetings.
No.
Oh, you got to watch pitch meetings. It's so Ryan from pitch meetings is hilarious. But and he goes and he's like, and then at one point he's like, oh yeah, and then what happened? He's like, and then at one point, Carnage takes a guard and he grabs his spine and he pulls it out of his back, and the guy's like PG-13. He's like, he throws the guard against a wall, and he's like, that's right. Because
it's like, what did this turn into? Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, he's like, whoa, PG-13. He's like, oh, he throws the guard against the wall.
Is that what Venom is? PG-13?
Yeah.
Oh shit, no way.
See, because it's like, how's that? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna see it. We'll see it. Like we talked about.
Yeah, we'll hit it up.
But it's like, so you got Venom.
We should double header. We should hit Shang-Chi and Venom.
I don't have it in me anymore, man.
No, you don't have Shang-Chi in you?
No, I don't have it back to back in me.
Oh, you don't have back to
double
back
headers?
No Grindhouse?
That was old school when it was like when you'd go to the theater and then you would hide and then you'd go into the
I so used to do that.
To the one person downloading the podcast, don't save that.
Don't save that.
But yeah, I used to love it. You spend the $12. You'd go at you do the 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
You'd see one movie, and then you'd line it up and pop over to see. But back in the good old days when it was just an empty, it was just general admission.
Yep. Yeah.
So as long as that movie wasn't sold out, you were.
Or I go to the late ones, so you go to 9 o'clock.
They still had an midnight,
11 or a midnight one.
Yeah, they don't have those anymore.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's because the movies are too long.
Could be, yeah.
That's what I feel. Because I know there used to be 11:10s, 11:30s, 11:40s all the time. But I guess when movies are 90 minutes.
I think I saw Fast and the Furious, the first one, and Tomb Raider that way, where I was went into Fast and the Furious, saw it, and then popped out and went into Tomb Raider and saw it. It was something like that. Oh man, yeah, the good old days. Speaking of fandemonium, just some crazy news that I heard about was the Oilers player got
I thought we weren't going to get into that.
Okay, we're out. Okay, moving on.
Get out of that.
Well, I mean, it's just crazy that a young guy like that, heart issues, may never play hockey again.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That's wild.
Yeah, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but I'm just gonna. So they say he's got myocarditis.
Yeah.
Right. May never play again.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Archibald.
Yeah. So how come one of the side effects of the vaccine is myocarditis, but when you get it from the vaccine, they say, "Oh, you just got to ride it out. You'll feel better." And any cardiologist will tell you there is no different myocarditis. It's either it is or it isn't. It's inflamed or it's not.
Yeah.
So
what is it?
So what is it? You know, that's what pisses me off about when they do those news stories.
No COVID talk. Okay, I brought it up. My
there
bad.
we go. But that's
there you
it.
go.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
saying.
Yeah.
You can look at two completely non-related news articles. One says myocarditis from the vaccine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then another one says, oh no, COVID gave it to him. He'll never play again. Well, if you got the vaccine and got myocarditis, would he also not play again? I'm confused.
The messaging on everything is confusing.
Yes.
Speaking of Black Widow, I'm going to bounce all over the place there.
Yeah.
She settled her lawsuit. I
Real
guess.
shocker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real
and they
shocker.
even said like, hey, we're excited to have you back.
And she's like, and while she's counting her money, she's like, and I'm excited to be back.
Exactly.
30,157,000. 30 million. You know, and then that's exactly it. It's like, and then it's like, so what was it then?
Yeah,
ScarJo, was it? It's you're just after the cash.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean,
it wasn't about being screwed over by the studio or about being like, done dirty by them and this and that, and females aren't treated right in Hollywood. No. It was they gave her $40 million to shut up, and she took it.
Yeah, and she's like,
I don't know, $40 million is a lot of money. There ain't going to be no Black Widow 2, so I might as well get this.
Better cash in on this bad boy.
He's like, my character is quite dead, so
it's like, and I don't, and you don't want to shoot the hand or bite the hand that feeds, because Disney's doing stuff. All the time, right? So
exactly. So
you want to be a part of that. You want to be on that chessboard when that game is being played. You didn't watch What Ifs, eh?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Actually, so I did actually go through them.
Okay, yeah.
They were okay.
There were some that were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the last two.
Last two was cool.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was watching them as standalone, not part of the Marvel universe. I was just like, I'm just gonna watch these because they're fun, right?
Yeah.
And they were really good. The Captain Carter one was awesome. Like I thought that was just I love the way they did the animation on the fight scenes and stuff for that. It was just I thought that was
the fight scenes did actually feel like, and not to spoil anything, but the last episode, the fight scenes were very like the movies.
Yeah,
they like even the choreography, even though it was like animated,
hands down.
The way that they were like combining kind of like their powers with each other and like kind of doing without giving too much away, but it was good.
It was cool.
Like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it got me more jacked about sort of what the next build up looks like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, like there's gonna have to be some epic arc.
And that's the thing is like we don't the thing that's gonna suck about this run of Marvel is that we're anticipating the build up. Whereas before when we saw Iron Man, everything was just a surprise. We're like, oh,
wait a second.
They're tying it all together, right?
Like,
And this time we're like, well, we know you're going to tie it together, but how are you going to tie it together? And it's going to be scrutinized so much more.
Yeah, that's true.
Which unfortunately just takes away the joy of it a little bit, because there isn't like a surprise.
Yeah.
Like what I hate now is like I'm always thinking about the post credit scene now, and I'm not even thinking about the movie.
Yeah,
and I'm
like, who cares? How does it all
how does it all line up with the next one, right?
Yeah.
And that's horrible. But Hawkeye looks really good.
Yeah,
it looks fun, and I'm good for a good injection of fun right now.
It's gonna be like the problem. Well, the potential problem. So on the one hand, it could be almost like my brother-in-law called it. It almost had like a Die Hard feel, like that like the Christmas action movie, kind of like and also how the trailer was cut and how the music and stuff.
Yeah,
but that was kind of cool. But at the same time, it's the same. Like the other problem, which they could fall into, just depends how they execute it. But like, why? This is gonna sound bad, but it's not bad. It's just a problem with the writing. Like, why are you taking, like, it's the same thing that happened with Loki, where it's just like, you turn him into like a goof who doesn't know what's going on, and then there's some new, inevitably girl character who's just kind of like leading him, got him by the proverbial leash, right? Where it's just sort of like, not to say that there's not to say there's anything wrong with it, but it's like a writing trope that they've kind of like fallen into, and they even did it with the Bad Batch, with the Star Wars, the Clone War sequel.
Yeah.
With the sort of the
that's the
animated one, but it was the same thing where it was like they find like, oh, there's like this mystery girl, and it's like she's just like leading us around, and then we were badass in the main show, but now we're just a bunch of idiots,
Right.
who are like, we don't know what we're doing. And then she's like, oh my God, guys, you got to do this way.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. But it's like, so it's like, it's just sort of like a tired like story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that it's not that, like, because of just Clint's, like, because of his, like, Hawkeye as a character, he's like not as dangerous as Loki in that sense. So he'll probably, hopefully it'll be just kind of fun, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and he's kind of got like this fearless bout, about him, and so it makes it comical. Where it's like, oh, here it comes. Oh crap. You know, like, there's a little bit of unrealistic, but I guess it's a comic movie, so like, you can't really like the guy throws the Molotov cocktail at him, and he smashes the window so he can come through, so he can grab it and throw it back, and like just like what, like okay, but that's all cool.
But
stuff.
then when he says, like in Age of Ultron, that was like one of the best lines when he's like, listen, we're on a floating city and we're fighting an army of killer robots and I just have a bow and arrow. He's like, none of this makes any sense.
This makes any sense. That is actually a good one. Yeah.
And I just have a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So like those are, that's starting to look pretty promising. Like the whole universe, like that whole Marvel thing, I think is going to come together. I'm interested to see what they're going to do for developments on Star Trek still, because I haven't really heard any news on any of that. I think it's kind of a write-off. Yeah. Wasn't Quentin Tarantino like toying with getting involved with it or something?
Because what happens is, this is like, and it's like CBS and Viacom, they're financially effed. So what they do is they do these they like leak these fake news stories.
Yeah.
And it's always around an investor's call. Like that's usually when they line it up for. So they're like, it's like, if you just type in like Star Trek, new Star Trek movie, you just type in new Star Trek movie and you watch it, there's like 96 news stories about Star Trek movies that are in development, then not in development, then in development, then not. Like even Chris Pine has said it a million times. Like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not doing it.
Which sucks.
I don't.
Because I like Pine.
Yeah, I like Pine. I didn't like those movies.
Yeah.
So, I don't really care. But,
gotcha.
But I mean, and I'm boycotting the shows. Like, until they change, I'm just not doing it. Like,
the world revolves around Nick and Star Trek.
That's right.
Get your shit together.
They've ruined it for me. They've ruined it for me. So I'm just not doing it. Like, it's hate to be negative about it, but it's like, you have to make a good show for me to watch it.
No,
because I don't have the time.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when I'm pleasantly like Free Guy. Ryan Reynolds.
Right, yeah. Like, we just watched that the other day.
Yeah, it's like it was a total pleasant surprise.
Yep. It actually was.
It
was good. I thought there was more cameos in it than they had boasted about in the
there's more
like the build-up.
Well, there's more Easter eggs. Like, so you got to watch like
all the background
stuff. There's tons. There's tons.
Yeah, no, that movie was
that
pretty
was
good.
So fun.
Oh, it was so fun.
And I don't know about you, like, and this is a minor spoiler, but who cares? As like somebody in the like marketing space, I loved the whole dude.
Yeah.
And when they go, but he's only 60% ready or 40% ready or something, and then his lines aren't finished. Yeah. So he says them like they're finished. So he's just like, catchphrase. Yeah. He's like, I love 3 things: kicking ass, tube TBD, and third thing here. And that's literally like, when you look at our like website wireframes and our proposals, like it's filled with that stuff.
It would just be funny if he started speaking lorem ipsum. It's like, what the hell was that? It's
block of text.
Block of text here. Yeah. But Ryan Reynolds is awesome at that stuff. Like he's really, again, for a Canadian guy too, he's really exploded that whole thing. Like, he's done really well. Deadpool. I mean, I know there's lots of talks with him actually getting into the Marvel universe now, so that will be really cool. He's killed it with that. Yeah. And that Free Guy was really good. Yeah. And because it was only in theaters for like a couple weeks before they released it on digital.
I think, or was it a combination? Or was it not even in theaters?
No, it was in theaters, exclusively in theaters at the very beginning, and then they moved it over to digital. But it was a short time, like only a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I was super happy about that. Yeah. Halloween coming up. What do you think?
Like that.
This
Just Halloween in general, or what?
Yeah, like just okay. No, let's talk about some. Okay, let's go in chronological order here. Thanksgiving.
That's
Okay,
this weekend.
That's this weekend. Yeah. Do you remember when you were in school learning about Thanksgiving and what it was all about?
Yes.
You remember like the pilgrims and the natives coming together for a meal, and it was because of their first crop that they'd ever taken off. You remember all that?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're being taught that in schools anymore, because like
it wouldn't
in my
surprise me if they weren't.
Yeah, in my daughters, they don't. She hasn't heard anything about that. But I remember like even we made hats, like pilgrim hats.
Yeah,
we
did posters. I remember we had to make like what did the first Thanksgiving look like?
Yeah. And do you remember the horn?
The horn filled with the bounty.
Yeah, with the bounty. Right?
Yeah.
Like where is all that? And like. Yeah, where is all that?
It's fallen out of fashion, maybe.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Because like I even like looked up like pictures of it and stuff like that, the depictions of what this supper was and stuff like that, right? So, and it was it went right down memory lane for me, because that was like kindergarten, grade 1 maybe for me, and
not even a Canadian history.
No,
it's American history.
Yeah,
but we still learn about it.
Yeah,
you know.
And so that was because it was Mississippi, Massachusetts, right? Yeah, where they were doing this, and I just found that kind of interesting as I was looking through Thanksgiving, and I was like, and like my wife, like I mean, not from Canada, so she wasn't aware of any of that stuff either, but just kind of showing her that, and she's going, oh, like it's weird that like we don't even talk or mention any of that, anymore, which is. Yeah, just kind of bizarre, and I'm wondering why we don't do that. I have to look into that, or if somebody wants to make a comment why we don't learn about that stuff anymore. Make a comment. And then Halloween coming up. Lots of people are excited for it. Like a lot of my neighbors and stuff like that. Last year, I don't even think we went out trick or treating last year, just because of the whole COVID thing. And I think this year. Is going to be, I think it's a little bit, it feels like it's more laxy-daisy, like people are willing to go out.
Yeah.
Just from the conversations I've been having with individuals.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. My neighbors, they want to get together with us. They bought a whole bunch of masks, and we're all going to dress up as the same thing. And go out and terrorize the neighborhood. The one thing I missed about, in this neighborhood, you go for a walk up the street, and like half the houses have whatchamacallit, little bars going on in their house, and so then they're giving candy to the kids and handing out shots to the adults and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It turns into just a fun flipping time, man. You do one round around that block there,
you're toast.
up the road, you're toasted, and if it's cold, you're warm, and it's fantastic. So
that's funny.
We did buy tickets to Dark on the 23rd. Actually, 23rd is a big day for us. I'm diving the West Edmonton Mall saltwater there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we're in the saltwater. We're diving the pool. Or
cool.
Not the pool. We're diving around the ship.
Yeah, where you they set you up and you
Yeah. So we're gonna go dive around the pirate ship and whatnot, and so we, my brother and I, are gonna go do that together.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and they've got all the fish in there and the sharks, I think, on like the see-through tanks and stuff that we can look at. And then that night we're going to that Dark, which is that Halloween walk, which I think that would be good too. Like a lot of people have said that it's pretty awesome. We went and took a look at the corn maze out by not Gibbons. There's a farm out by Redwater, and it's kind of neat. Like you go pick pumpkins. They have like a corn cannon where you load in the corn and you launch it and whatnot. It's kind of fun. They got like a petting zoo there and stuff. That was really busy though.
Yeah.
But it was nice that it was outside. They have like a sunflower maze, and then they have a corn maze and whatnot. It was pretty good. Lots of festivities going on.
Yeah.
This time of year, harvest is happening.
Yeah.
All that sort of jazz. So, lots of fun things. Lots of activities that are more outdoorsy now, I guess, than anything.
Yeah, like they push. Well, it's nice to be able to push the kind of like stay outside longer.
Yeah.
As fall
Yeah.
comes up. So it's
Any plans for Thanksgiving? You
just going to my parents.
just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing too
Keep
crazy.
it low key.
Yeah, keeping it low key.
Yeah.
Yeah, my niece it's her first kind of real Halloween. She's 2 years old now.
Yeah.
So like she knows what's going on. So she which is fun. So we'll probably, we'll set up a little something for her.
Yeah.
Like she'll come trick or treating at our place, and we'll have some treats and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. Nothing.
See, for little kids like that, the perfect costume is was it Jigsaw? Is that who it was from Saw?
Oh yeah.
Because then they can.
I don't think she's not there yet.
They
can
just ride their tricycle.
Yeah.
Right. The little tricycle. Just and you put that head on them. They don't need to see what they look like.
No, they don't. That's true. Just for us.
Yeah, it's just for us.
Yeah.
And then they get an injection of candy. I think we've still got candy from 2-3 years ago. We go out for the novelty of collecting the candy, but then we're not.
You don't really eat it.
We're not candy
it's a lot,
eaters.
right?
So it ends up sitting in a bowl at the top, and it might get picked at once or twice every month or something. But I know it's nothing but fun on that end. Yeah, Thanksgiving is kind of like outside of the U.S. because they do Thanksgiving different day. November, right? Yeah.
November.
And they really revolve like the shopping around it, the Black Friday, right?
Yeah, that's kind of there. They've obviously turned it into
this commercial thing,
which is probably why it's easy to sort of forget what it's actually about.
Yeah,
maybe
that's true too. I guess. Yeah, like the meaning's really been sucked out of it.
Yeah.
About Halloween. Yeah. So, but Halloween, we were going over some like really classic, like some of the classic horror movies, right? And there's some great ones there, like Carrie. I haven't seen that since I was like in high school. I was watching a show with Rob Lowe about movie cliches. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
but he was talking about how like Scream kind of brought back the horror genre, like brought it back to its roots.
Yeah,
with the classic lines.
Well,
right?
and then actually, I think what's the name of that? What's the name of? Oh man, the name of that director. He did Midsummer, but the one before that.
Midsummer, or I Know What You Did Last Summer.
No, Midsummer. What's the name? What's the name? Ari Aster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the one he did before Midsummer was Hereditary. That was a scary movie.
Really, eh?
And it was like it was old school in the sense that it was like it was scary. Like there was scary stuff, but it was more scary because of it was more scary like Exorcist is, or Rosemary's Baby, or Carrie, where there's like just like this like uneasiness the whole time.
Yeah.
That just makes it creepy.
Sits on you.
That sits on. Yeah. And it was awesome.
You just mentioned another great one that I totally forgot from my list, but The Exorcist.
Yeah, I still to this day I can't watch the movie.
Really? Eh?
Yeah.
Well, because I think it was
the shit out of
I think
me.
it was her. Like that making that movie gave that girl like
PTSD?
psychological issues and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, that movie is scary. Rosemary very scary.
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Classic.
See, I always found the 80s horrors though, they're almost because I hate horror movies.
Yeah.
It's just being scared is not a thrill that I look for.
Yeah.
Like it's just how I am.
I'm the same boat. My wife loves.
Interesting.
But and so she doesn't watch them mostly because of me.
But I find we watched Hellraiser.
Oh yeah.
Not too long ago.
That's another classic.
Yeah, and I'm getting back into like the 80s horror classics and 90s horror classics. They're not scary in a way that rattles me.
Right.
I find them just the filmmaking and the special effects awesome.
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
how they like, yeah.
Well, because it was like real effects. Like it was real makeup.
Effects,
it wasn't
right?
CGI or nothing. Like,
yeah.
Obviously The Shining. Now The Shining is just, that's such a great horror movie in the sense of just great story writing. Like that, that's a great story.
And The Shining is scary the same way that Alien, the original Alien, because the original Alien's it's borderline a horror movie. It's not yes, it's sci-fi, but it's written like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the isolation.
Yeah.
And both movies do such an amazing job building up the isolation to understand how alone these people are and how screwed they are.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
The fear, or the interesting about those movies that I find I like about them is the fear of dealing with something that can't be reasoned with,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like when with Michael Myers, you know, it was like because of the face and then the just the relentless like moving forward.
Yeah.
You can't reason with him.
Yeah.
That was the fear. Whereas you can't like, dude, like, oh, like why would you do that? And like you can't. It doesn't matter.
Well,
like,
even
it's just,
the
I just want to kill.
The Terminator. The original Terminator.
The original
was like
Terminator
that
was
because
good.
It had that horror aspect where
just
somebody's coming after. Yeah, and it's coming after you, and like, and even the way that it's like, oh, Sarah Connors are just getting knocked off the phone book in order.
Yeah,
you know, it's like that's creepy.
That's creepy for sure.
So,
like Gremlins for me is more about like you were just saying, like more the animation or like the
and I just couldn't take
effects.
them. They're too funny. Like,
yeah, they are pretty funny. Yeah,
even in the second one, the new batch, where they just took it. They kind of like were caricatures of themselves, and they just took it too far. And those little sadistic little bastards were just like, but it was kind of, I find it funny. Yeah.
What else? Silence of the Lambs, again, just great story writing. I just watched the ending scene of which one was that? That was with Hopkins and whatchamacallit? Oh God, the guy that played the original Incredible Hulk.
Oh, Edward Norton. Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Yeah. So I just watched the ending scene of that the other day on YouTube, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, I can like this is a crazy movie. Candyman. Ryan was just going over
Tony Todd.
Going over the latest one. That's a really good because that's the same guy that plays or is playing Morpheus in Matrix.
And, is it? Okay. Yeah.
So House of a Thousand Corpses, a little bit more recent. Just blood gore fest. That's a pretty sketchy movie too, just in the like for scary wise. Have you ever seen those ones? Yeah. Just for the fact that it's like those people just enjoy what they're doing so much that it's freaky. So just classic The Exorcist though. Like that's one that
it scares me to this.
I don't even know if my wife's seen that one.
I watched it. I watched it like in the middle of the day. When I was like 12, 14, something like that. After my parents I grew up with my mom being like, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. Like in the like scary, like she's like I was bawling, like I was like so scared.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, whatever, Mom. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Whatever. But it was so random. It was on like A&E in the middle of the day. Back then, like
they
put anything on like in the middle of the day, like whatever. And I remember I was at home alone, and I watched it in the middle of the day, sitting on the chair, like on the armchair in the living room, and I like watched it, and I like was so scared I couldn't turn it, like I couldn't change the channel. I was like frozen with fear, and then I didn't move off the chair. I don't mind saying this publicly. I didn't move off the chair, and that was probably like, it was like 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon. The movie was done by like 3:30 or 4 or whatever. I didn't move until my dad came home from work. And he opened the door, and he like walked in.
What's wrong with you, boy?
And and he's like, how are things going? I was just like white as a ghost. And even to this day, like it still rattles me if I see like a clip or a picture from the movie.
Yeah.
Fucking rattles me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
When I moved out, I was living in a shop. My parents were living about like 8 miles away. I would watch horror movies like Alien, The Exorcist, all that sort of stuff when I was younger. And I have to shut the light off in the garage and then go up the stairs to the mezzanine. And so I'd always to get over my fear, I'd be like, I'd shut the light off, and then I'd be like, all right, let's go. Bring it on. I'm right here. Come on, bring it on. I'd amp myself up I'm going to fight the demons. And I'd walk up the stairs, crap in my pants the whole way up. Like, come on. I got you. You want some of this? Come on. That's my only way to get it over in my head, right? I like amp myself up.
That is scary. My loft was like that because I lived in a loft downtown, and it was to get, you could turn on the light in the living room, you couldn't go to sleep without turning the lights off in the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started to like, and even back then, like I was out of the house. I was an adult, or kind of, but I was like, I still had to like, so then I bought like a, one of those like IKEA lamps.
Oh, yeah.
So then I would turn the lamp on by the bed first. I'd go to my bed, turn the lamp on. This is a fully grown adult. And then I would like walk and then shut all the lights off. And then like,
Yeah. Then you shut all the lights up and then you see a shadow go across that lamp.
And that place was like a tomb, like, because it was an old, it's like the old industrial buildings.
Yeah.
So it was concrete. Like, so there was like 12 units in there.
In this space.
And
no one can hear you scream.
And it was like dead quiet. So then you would only, I remember when I first moved in, I was so excited, but then the first few nights, because you could like see the whole place from your bed, right? You didn't have that like cozy feeling.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, I'm talking dead quiet, like this quiet.
Yeah.
So then you'd hear the hardwood floors or the like wood beams. You'd get a creak once in a while, and it would just like, oh man, it's good stuff.
Good old classics.
The Chris Campbell movies, like Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness.
Those never scared me.
They're not really scared.
No,
they were just awesome.
They were just awesome. Yeah. Like Campbell was just, I don't know. I just liked him. I had a big thing. Like I thought he was always cool. Sleepy Hollow. Going back to
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken as the rider, and then Johnny Depp as Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
That's again a great movie. Of course, directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah.
All of Tim Burton's. That's the one thing about Tim Burton is like all of his movies look and feel the exact same.
Like they're going to be Halloween.
Yeah, they're just all going to be Halloween-y, right?
Yeah.
So, so some great old school horror movies. Wishmaster, that was another good one. And then we were talking about Child's Play. Like you cannot forget about Child's Play.
It's classic, but I never found it compelling.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like I never found it like.
First couple were like, oh shit, yeah. Well, it's like just thinking like this, like that whole like the pity
like
patter.
Seinfeld, Mr. Marvel.
Yes, exactly. Oh shit! I just saw Seinfeld is all their episodes are on Prime now. I think it is
500 million.
Isn't that crazy? That's what they paid.
100 million. They paid for Netflix. Netflix paid.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And I know. Like even the Friends deal, like for them to have Friends, and I think they made bank,
yeah.
And I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. I think it's off now. It used to be on there, but it was crazy. I was looking at the barista from Friends.
Yeah, he died.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or I don't know if he died. I'm sorry. I don't know if he died or dying. He was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh shit. Okay. James Michael Taylor. Gunther.
Yeah.
They were talking about like what his royalties were. You have to look it up.
Was he getting? Did he get some?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. He negotiated for royalties too?
Has stage 4 prostate cancer. Oh shitty. Yeah. Yeah, they were saying like his royalties were like pretty crazy. Like every time they aired the episode, he did really well.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, pretty wild. So, he's got prostate cancer. So that oh man, it doesn't matter how rich you are or anything. If it wants you, it's gonna come get you. So, I haven't seen any of the reunion. I think we talked about that before, but I hear it's quite interesting.
It's interesting. So. It's a little sad too. There's always that combination. You see people that you grew up with, and then you just see how old they are.
Yeah, you're just wishing I wish I didn't watch that. I just want to remember them for for
kind of like
who
how
they were when they were. Yeah, exactly. So cool, man.
Cool. Well, I think
wrap up there, and another weekly dose of 4thGen. So thank you everybody for listening.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
We'll
probably talk before Halloween.
Crazy.
We'll talk before Halloween.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk before Halloween.
Right on.
Gotcha. Good stuff. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.